Each week, we spend a couple of minutes in silence. I invite you now to turn off all your mobile devices to ensure the sacredness of the silence. And now Nadine will lead us into the silence with a chant.
I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey. I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free. I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey. I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free. I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey. I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free.
Let's pray. No matter what word we use, there is only one life, one mind, one power, one presence. I choose to call this God, and I know that it is the infinite divine intelligence that expresses as me and as each and every person here. It expresses in us, through us, and as us, connecting us all together as one body. And as we prepare to step from the old year into the new year, I claim for each one of us that we release the old with ease and grace and joy. We release with forgiveness wherever we believe it is needed. And we release with great gratitude for all that has transpired in our lives this past year and for all that has not. And we step confidently into the new year, knowing that it is a clean slate upon which we can write all of our dreams, our goals, our desires, as we know that the Spirit, the One, the Presence, always says yes to everything that we claim for ourselves. And so knowing this, we dream big, we dream boldly, and we know that 2014 is already the best year ever in the mind of God. And I am so grateful to hold this truth in consciousness for each one of us. And I release my word into the law with great gratitude, knowing that it is already manifested in the mind of God. And I invite you to anchor this prayer with me by saying, "And so it is." Please join me in reading today's affirmation. Today, I bestow the essence of love upon everything. Everyone I meet shall be lovely to me. My soul meets the soul of the universe in everyone. This love is a healing power touching everything into wholeness.
I invite you to close your eyes if you wish. We can take a journey together with the power of sacred sound. This is an invocation of our higher selves, a moment where we can surrender and remember. It's a chant called Sacred Stones. Shandakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Shandakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrasham Shahantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham. Amen. Dominus illuminatio me. Amen. Dominus illuminatio me. Amen. Vishnu, 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 Vishnu. Bhujagashyanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gaganasadrasham Shantakaram Bhujagashyanam Padmanabham Suresham Amen. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Lilay McGee Queen. I first visited the Center for Spiritual Living in spring 2003 with a friend, Linda Garrett, who subsequently became a member. Dr. David was totally awesome then, and he is even more awesome now. I became instantly hooked. Although I am not a member of CSL, I always feel welcome here. My books are even sold in the church bookstore. Today's Power Talk, Passing the Torch with Gratitude, is based on my 2008 abstract painting titled Passing the Torch. To me, passing the torch is about doing something significant during one's lifetime, then releasing it to the next generation with honesty, dignity, and pride, where it then becomes legend. Chapters in my life include I am a farmer's daughter, a self-taught pianist at 5, a published author at 36, founder of a Girlfriends Networking Club, California, 2006, and today I am a retired federal investigator special agent. I was born and raised in rural, segregated farming community in North Carolina. I first picked up an artist's paintbrush in August 1994. I was 49. My spouse, Mike Queen, and I had a project that weekend to clean our recently vacated townhome in Milpitas. The tenants had returned to Texas. They left behind an artist's paint set when I picked up a paintbrush made several images on a small piece of paper that was lying there on the floor. I was instantly transformed. I wanted to become an artist that moment. I subsequently joined art groups, became a volunteer docent at various Silicon Valley art galleries. My first paintings sold on KTEH Channel 54 art auction. As a self-taught artist, I knew very little about the world of art, but I learned rather quickly. My background was in federal law enforcement, but I created my own brand name and called it Unstructured Art Series. That unique name got the attention of art lovers, gallery owners, and local bookstores. I enjoy painting outdoor sceneries such as hurricanes, tornadoes, volcanoes, wildfires, and sandstorms. My paintings are high energy, strong emotions with vibrant colors. I also mix raw materials with oil and acrylic paint onto canvas. As a retiree today, I enjoy writing books, poems, and short stories. Some of them actually describe my paintings, and I have converted some into poems. For instance, this particular painting, Passing the Torch, is in my most recent book entitled The Joy of Wisdom, Wealth, and Girlfriends. It goes this way. It only takes a few minutes, they say, to pass a torch to the next generation, but it may take a lifetime to get published in a book, a textbook, so start preparing yourself today. Everyone has a short story, perhaps a long story too. Live a meaningful life with a purpose. The grace of God will carry you through. Some people are gifted artists, lawyers, doctors, and engineers too. But if you want a footnote in the American history books, here are my suggestions to you. Write daily notes about life experiences, about people, places, and things. Get a quality education today, and then follow your own business plan. Share your gifts, wealth, and talents while embracing those senior years. Life has a way of slowing us down. It takes much longer to climb those hills. When your time is up on earth and you have empowered everyone in your path, pass that torch to just one more person. Make that a special moment. Make that moment last.
Good morning.
So it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce the Reverend Valerie Reeves.
2 seconds. And thank you. And it is my honor and my joy and my excitement to get to work with Reverend Tony Cormier.
So, thank you. So according to Ernest Holmes,
In this thing called you,
life has set the stamp of individuality on your soul.
you are different from any other person who ever lived.
You are an individualized center in the consciousness of God.
You are an individualized activity in the action of God.
You are you, and you are eternal.
I love that line. You are you, and you are eternal. And this is such a wonderful time of the year. This is a time where we get to reflect on 2013 and look forward to 2014. And look at what we are going to take into 2014, because there might be some things that we want to let go of, right? So I knew that this Christmas, last Christmas was my last Christmas with my father. And so I knew this Christmas, he made his transition in March, I knew this Christmas I needed to create something different so that I didn't go down a certain spiral. So when my dentist offered a root canal on Christmas Eve, I said, yeah, let's do it. Woo! Yeah. And he said, not only are you going to get a root canal, but you also get to listen to Christmas music. Yeah. So I'm in that spiritual flow. I'm excited. And then the receptionist says, what kind of pain meds do you want? I said, well, I'm in the spiritual flow. I'm good. I don't need anything. And then the fear stepped in and my humanity stepped in, and I said, I'll take Vicodin, codeine, and Percocet. What else you got? Have you ever had that happen where you step into fear and maybe there's a procedure or a process or something you've got to go through? And it's like, oh, I don't want to go through this. And yet there's that part inside of you that is pushing you to the next level, where we get to embrace it. Now, my acronym for fear is forgetting every available resource. The most important resource is God, Spirit. And when I step into fear, I've stepped away from that spiritual source. So I invite you to stay in that spiritual flow. Feel the fear and do it anyway. So I'm from Nebraska, so we have to have a farmer story. So there was a farmer, and he had a donkey. Well, one day the donkey fell into a well, this deep well, and the farmer's looking down in that well, and it's like, this is going to be a lot of work to get him out. And he's kind of getting up there in age, so I think I'll just, let him spend the rest of his days there. So he goes about his business, and pretty soon he's thinking, what will the neighbors think? So he decided he better cover over the donkey. So he gets his shovel, starts throwing dirt down on the donkey to cover over the donkey. The donkey's looking up, he's shaking it off, he stomps it down. The farmer keeps throwing some more dirt on him. He shakes it off, stomps it down, a little more dirt, shakes it off, stomps it down. Pretty soon he has shooken off all of the dirt, stomped it down to the point where he has risen to the next level, and he's able to just walk outside of the well. So the farmer's thinking, well, that worked out pretty good. Well, the donkey goes about his business, and he's thinking, that wasn't very nice. So he goes and bites the farmer in the back end. The farmer actually gets septic shock and dies. There is a moral to the story. If you do something wrong and you try to cover your ass, it will come back to bite you. Sometimes we've got to shake it off, move to the next level, and if we have done something wrong, own up to it. And I invite you this year to step out of that comfort zone, to lead. I love your story, to lead and make sure that we are setting ourselves and our future generations up for success. What will you do in 2014? So this time of year, there's so many great movies on to inspire us, to enrich our lives, and to really get us to take a look at reflecting, like in A Christmas Carol, looking at past, present, and based on where I am going and what I'm thinking, what direction am I going? We know in this teaching that thoughts are things, and we move in the direction of our most dominant thought. So what are your dominant thoughts about yourself, about your life? And are you going to step out of that comfort zone this year? One of my favorite movies is We Bought a Zoo. Have any of you seen this movie? Such a great movie. So this gentleman, it's based on a true story. His wife passes away and he wants to create something different for his children. So they buy a zoo. That's something different, right? So he's telling his children that it only takes 20 seconds of insane courage to get to something wonderful. And he says, I promise you, something great will transpire if you just take that 20 seconds of courage. And he tells his children about when he met their mother. And he was walking by a restaurant, and he saw the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. And he thought, it only takes 20 seconds of insane courage. So he walked inside, 15 seconds left to go. And he says to her, so I was wondering what it would take for a beautiful woman like you to speak to someone like me. And she said, please have a seat. Something wonderful transpired. Something wonderful is about to happen when we take that courage and we step into the divinity of the I am, moving in the direction of our most dominant thought. Allowing your dominant thoughts about yourself to be beautiful and great and not staying in that comfort zone. How can I step into the greatness, into the divinity of the I am that I am? You are an individualized action of the activity of God. I invite you to step into that divinity.
So the comfort zone. Not only do we look back on this year and kind of say, okay, what worked, what didn't work, but I invite you to go back to childhood, to your family of origin. Think about your birth order. So now they say if you're the firstborn, you may be considered an achiever, maybe controlling. If you're the middleborn, you might be a little rebellious, people pleaser. If you're the lastborn, you may be uncomplicated, a little manipulative. If you're an only child, you may be viewed as maybe mature beyond your years, possibly a leader. And usually what happens is we get into those roles and they play out in our lives. And we find other circumstances that allows us to be that same person. And if you think of science of mind, it can be summed up in one word: consciousness. Are we consciously conscious? And so are those roles a negative? Not necessarily. But if you think about all those characteristics, we all possess them. While they may be more dominant in others, they're in all of us. And so in today's Science of Mind magazine, it talked about the power being in all of us. And it said, we don't have to borrow power. Power is like the sun. It shines on everyone. So sometimes when we think, oh, I've got to be the one to do it. If I don't do it, it doesn't happen. That's not necessarily true. Because when we step back, it allows someone else to step forward. Now we're in the holiday season. Sometimes we get together with our families. Now you may say, well, my family's fine. It's how it's always been. But I have a question. Are you reactive or do you respond? Now, what do I mean by reactive? If you were to go to the doctor and they gave you medication, they would say, oh, you're having a reaction to the medication. So there may be a change needs to happen. So with family, it may look like in your head after a conversation, if they ask me one more time about X, or I said I didn't care and they keep asking, or why is it always at my house? I don't want it at my house. There might be some energy there. Now, on the other side is if you respond. So if the doctor says you're responding to the medication, all's well. So that means, you know, it doesn't work for me at my house, let's go to yours this year. Okay. You can have that conversation without energy around it. Now, another thing that happens as we move through life, we get labels. I think society really likes labels. What's a label? For example, if you had a bankruptcy, are you really a bankruptcy? No. It's an event that happened, that's real, but also in Science of Mind, we hear that we're whole, perfect, and complete, that there's a place in us that's never been touched by any type of discord. That's the truth of who we are. Then on the other side with the labels, those are facts. Facts can always change. If you lost your home to a foreclosure, is that who you are? No. It's a fact. Facts change. The truth, you're whole, perfect, and complete. So sometimes when we hear these labels, we may get a diagnosis or a prognosis. Is that who we are? No. It's a real event that's happening, and who we truly are, our true essence, is whole, perfect, and complete. And if you think about the song we heard this morning, if we were to go into 2014 thinking, I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey, how powerful is that? Because that is the truth. And like the donkey, sometimes with labels or roles, We just have to shake them off and stomp them down. And it sounds kind of funny, but it's like that. And again, with our philosophy, it's called living the science of mind. It's not lived science of mind. Living, it's an action. It's something it requires that we participate in it. We don't get to this place of nirvana and we don't do anything else. No, that's probably when we pass on. In this lifetime, it's work. We have to work, we have to treat, we have to do our meditations. I'm thinking about you. I think I need some now. But anyway, back on track. So the bottom line about as we get ready to enter into a new year, we also hear the word dominion. We have choice. Sometimes events may happen that we have no control over, but where we have choice and dominion is how we respond to those events. Are we going to allow those events to define who we are? Are we going to say, no, I'm whole, perfect, and complete? Let me take a breath. The power of the breath. Sometimes people were so busy, and a lot of people are now that sandwich generation where they may have older adult children that need help, and they have aging parents, and there's so much busyness going on that we don't have time to take a moment and just to breathe and just to kind of realign and to say, what is my truth? That's right, I'm whole, perfect, and complete. And these things are going on, but they don't define me. So as we get ready to enter into 2014, no, you can have the life you want. What's your consciousness? Because if you believe the labels that, wow, I lost everything, I filed bankruptcy, I'm not worthy, I'm never going to have anything. And the universe is always responding to our thoughts. What are we manifesting? Or what are we not manifesting? And if we say, I am worthy of all that I desire because of who I am, because I'm here by divine appointment, I recognize the divine that dwells within me. You're powerful beyond measure.
You are. Like my dress? So some of you that know me know this is normal for me. And some of you may be thinking, where have you been and what are you wearing? I have stepped out of my comfort zone, and I have been filling in at different churches, CSL, Peninsula, Santa Cruz, Monterey. So I am stepping into the divinity. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, because I used to be very, very, very shy, I know that I would not be here doing what I'm doing had it not been for my practitioner. Back in 1992 in Denver at the Mile High Church of Religious Science, I had a practitioner that saw the divinity in me when I couldn't see it in myself. Now, in this teaching, we do have people that have gone through training so that they can see the divinity in who you are, even when you can't see it in yourself. We do call them our prayer practitioners. And at the end of every service, they are available to gift to you a prayer. They're also available to set up sessions if you want more than just a prayer, if you need somebody to really listen, really hear. And I'd love for our prayer practitioners to stand up for just a moment and honor you during this season. Yay, let's give them a hand. Thank you. So they will be available afterwards. And, you know, there was a time in my life that I couldn't even look in the mirror and say, I love you. So having a prayer practitioner to be able to see through and to call me out when I'm playing the victim or when I'm playing the blame game. I could say, oh, Tony made me wear this. I feel like Tony and I together are creative brilliance. So we're good together, yes. So this holiday season, coming into the new year, I am thinking about Christmas. I'm being in the Christmas spirit, and I want you to think about your life and think about when you were a child on Christmas Day, so excited to jump out of bed and unwrap those presents. And how can you create your life so every day you want to jump out of bed, so excited to unfold and unwrap who you are today? Who is the divinity of the I am that I am today? What is my gift to the world today, and what is the world's gift to me today? And being in that open channel, that open vessel, and being very mindful, because every thought, every word, every belief moves us in a certain direction. We move in the direction of our most dominant thought. And so as you do your end of the year inventory, what things are you going to let go of? There may be some relationships that are toxic that are not good for you. There may be a job that is not good for you. Who am I becoming because of this job? Who am I becoming because of this relationship? Who am I becoming because of the words I'm saying to myself? And how can I change that monkey mind chatter so that I am stepping into the divinity of the I am, that we are beautifully, brilliantly? How can I wake up every morning excited for the unfoldment of life? Well, I'm going to give you a couple ideas, okay? So having some mantras, making sure that we are doing our affirmations, our treatments, our meditations, having people in our lives that give us the warm fuzzies, that say, you know what, you're going through this stuff, but it doesn't matter. You still are amazing and brilliant. My brother and I were talking about the downward spiral, and sometimes you get into that space where you just kind of are in it. And what I do when I get in it, it's like I allow myself X amount of time. Okay, I'll give my 15 minutes to just be in it. And then it's time to move to the next level. And sometimes when our monkey mind chatter is just keeping us at this space, one of the things I'll do is put music in. I woke up with Nadine this morning. She was singing and I was dancing. So finding music, because music will lift you to another level. Finding something that will take you to the next level. I invite you for the year 2014 to find a theme song. What is your theme song for the year? Mine's Venus. She's got it. Whoa, baby, she's... All right. You know the song. You know, whatever works. And making sure that you are embracing and embodying who you are. Now, I could come out here and get all afraid of judgment. It's like, oh, they're going to think I'm a nutcase. That's all right. Read Terry Cole Whitaker's book, Who You Think I Am Is None of My Business. Great book, because whether somebody thinks you're the highest of the high or the lowest of the low doesn't make you any different than who you are. You are who you are. The only thing that matters is what you think about you. So if you're going to do something nuts, crazy, that 20 seconds of insane courage, own it, embrace it, be all that you can be, knowing that life continues to flow through you, that there is nobody else like you. You are the individualized center of the consciousness of God. You are the individualized activity of the action of God. You are you, and you are eternal. Let us pray.
So I just invite you to go within. So recognizing the oneness, the allness, the wholeness of God, knowing there is only one life, that life is God's life. That life is my life and the lives of each and every person in this room. And so in this moment, I'm just absolutely giving thanks for our time together, giving thanks for the last Sunday in 2013, knowing that we end this year with everything complete that needs to be completed. Knowing that we move into 2014 powerful beings, knowing who we truly are, recognizing the perfection that dwells within us. This is the absolute truth. And I'm knowing that as we move into 2014, CSL San Jose is a beacon of love and light that is transforming not only the city of San Jose, but the planet. And I'm knowing that 2014 is the best year ever, and all that we need, all that we desire, we already have. And that we are just having that 20 seconds of courage, knowing that it is ours. So for this and so much more, I give thanks. I release my word to the universal law, where I absolutely know it is done. So I simply let go and let God. And if anything I've said resonates with you, please help me anchor this prayer by saying, and so it is.
It's a great morning. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, give us an applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So David is away, he's skiing, and Susan is visiting family. And thank you so much for our time here together. And now the ushers are going to come forward. It is that time for giving and receiving, knowing that as we give freely. And please join us in the affirmation.
My life is filled with many wonderful people who bring me gifts of joy and happiness. I spread the blessing of the season, for I'm a shining star to all who see me, a beacon of hope and peace and prosperity in our world today and the year ahead.
Many nights we prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. But now we're not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like the summer bird too swiftly flown away. And now I'm standing here, my heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. Oh, they don't always happen when you ask, no. And it's easy to give in to your fears. But when you're blinded by your pain, can't see your way straight through the rain, a small but still resilient voice says hope is very near. When you believe, the hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. You will when you
Thank you. Thank you, Troy.
Oh my gosh. Do you believe this woman? Hi. Fantastic. Her CDs are for sale right out there. So I know that you're going to want one. I'm Lucy Witt, and I have just a few announcements for this morning. Flower dedications are now available for 2014. Please reserve your date by signing up online. Our Sunday evening service will return on January 12th. And there's only 2 more Sundays to register for upcoming classes. Now, if it's your first time at the center, or if you've just been kind of hanging out, like, what is this thing all about, la, 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 this is a good time to get connected. If things aren't working exactly like you want them to in your life, classwork helps. It gets you connected to the community. It also gives you a venue to explore those feelings that you may be having. So we have 3 classes coming up. Foundations on Tuesdays with Reverend Susan, Essential Earnest on Mondays with Jennifer Bick, and Exploring Roots of the Science of Mind, also on Mondays with Debbie B, right over there. So please register on our website or go to the concierge after service. Wednesday night's free spiritual practice class will return with Reverend Susan and a brand new curriculum on Wednesday, January 8th. Join us for Awaken Thursday, this Thursday at 7 p.m. as we sit in the silence, briefly share our reflections, and then share a simple meal. Before the ball drops on New Year's Eve, come to our New Year's Eve service. Now that will be from 5 to 6 p.m., which is good because it's early enough. And our Prac 2 students have put together a wonderful workshop. Do we have any Prac 2 students in the room? There's Julia. Anybody else? Okay, I know there's at least 4 or 5 more people that are involved in this. So this is part of their training and their gift to the community. So please come and join them from 5 to 6 p.m. Next week, Dr. David returns, and he's actually not skiing, he's snorkeling. He's in Puerto Vallarta, yeah. So he'll return on January 5th to launch our 2014 theme, which is Sowing Seeds of Greatness, A New Design for Living. And it's also our book of the year, A New Design for Living by Ernest Holmes. And that is available in our gift shop. Now, there's just been a little bit of confusion about the Fiesta de los Reyes Magos, I hope I'm saying that right, which we would like to clear up. So this is a 2-part event. One is that you come to the center next Sunday, and after second service, you will go to a tamale making class. Then you're going to come back on Monday, January 6th at 6 p.m., and you're going to eat those tamales. Yum, yum. And you will have a cultural evening celebrating the 3 kings, which is what that Spanish thing I just said. The 3 kings, yeah, that thing. And you'll also have something called rosca, which is a cake that you will also be eating. So you got tamales, cake, celebrating. Sounds good to me. We have upcoming dates. Create Your Vision workshop with Gregory Merritt on January 10th. And this next one, hilarious and fun hypnosis. You know, Reverend Valerie has many talents, and she's a professional hypnotist. She's fabulous. I went to her last show, that was last year. Oh my gosh, she takes people out of the audience and she hypnotizes you, and all kinds of stuff happens. It's fun. So if you want to start your year with a great experience, come and see Valerie on January 17th at 7:30, right? Okay, cool. We have a vision board play shop coming up with BJ King on the 18th. And Clear the Clutter in Your Mind and Life workshop on January 29th. Also, as a reminder, our professional prayer practitioners are available after service under the windows. Please see them if you have something heavy on your heart or if you just want to say thank you. Thank you.
I love you, Lucy. That's awesome.
So will you please stand and take the hand of the person on your right and on your left?
As the practitioners, please come forward.
Won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now, and all that you need to do is look within, where you will find that you are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, say, and do. And so it is.
So it is. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening.
Something wonderful is happening.
It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my relationships. Life is in my finances. I see it. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I accept it. I express it just the way that it is and just the way that it is not. Happy New Year. I love you.
I don't know. But anyway, it was